I'll be ready in a few. Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلي وإخوتي في الوطن العربي الكبير، محدثكم وأخوكم ساهر عطية مرة أخرى بخصوص الهجرة العشوائية. معنا اليوم المحامي القدير، محامي قضية جوميز، المحامي جيسي بليس. حضراتكم أكيد تعرفوا جيسي بليس من سنة 2020، وهو صاحب هندسة قضية جوميز طبعا. Mr. Jess, how you doing? And you welcome on our screen again.
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to address any questions that the audience has today. I don't have a lot of prepared remarks, really. I mean, I think maybe many of your audience knows that I used to work for the government. I used to handle the other side of federal litigation cases, immigration cases. I worked from 2006 until 2017. So, and I used to be the director of litigation at the American Immigration Lawyers Association. And now I work with my good friends and colleagues at
11 years.
Well, actually more than that, right? Did I date myself? It was about 13, I think. Yeah. I went through, it's funny. I mean, I could tell the story. So I was hired by the Justice Department out of law school back in 2005. And during that time, it was actually, I would consider it to be more strict because we had just had, it was kind of this post 9/11, this angst, and everything was getting, additional looks. And
Crazy.
I don't know if you remember, but there was this thing called NSEERs where they would just pick up people from the Middle East. And I was on the government side, but that doesn't mean that I was on the wrong side. I mean, we actually were telling the Homeland Security, which was newly created, like, you can't do this, and so sometimes the lawyers actually would come in and actually right the wrongs. But yeah, no, now, I handle a lot of federal cases, not just DV cases, a lot of delay cases, a lot of admin processing cases. I mean, we're working now. We already filed our case for DV 2022. We're in the process of letting a few others join us, but I think what's happened to the diversity visa program, this is not new news for anyone out there, but they've basically committed to prioritizing family-based immigrant visas and immediate visas over the diversity visas that are out there. So
okay. So with that being said, sorry for the connection problems. It's from our both sides, yours as well. And to stream. Okay. So now, talking about this, let's first tell the people who are in 2022 that does not know Just Bless. Let me tell them in Arabic. حضراتكم الأستاذ جيسي بليس المحامي العظيم، محامي قضية جوميز زي ما قلنا، قال إنه هو كان مشترك مع الحكومة، وكان شغال مع الحكومة في وزارة العدل الأمريكية، وكان من ضمن طاقم المحامين للقضايا، وكان يعمل بالدوائر الحكومية. فهو زي ما حضراتكم شايفين خير من يعرف خبايا هذا المكان. هو كلمنا عن 11 سبتمبر وما حدث. قال انه مش ضروري انه شغال مع الحكومه. There's two of me. Kick this one out. Here. حضراتكم زي ما قلنا لحضراتكم المحامي جيسي بليس المرة دي يعود ليخرج لكم قضية. I'm saying Mr. Jesse Bluss is back now to have his new lawsuit for the introduction about what's happening. And now let's talk first to those who are going to ask us about 2022. Where do you see what's happening? What's your opinion about what's happening now? First, is there a chance for people? There's no chance for people. What makes us have this litigation? I know the answers. I know your answer. We talked many times, but now it's time just to let the people know.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, we talk about chances. I hate to have people feel like, oh, if I don't join a lawsuit, I don't have a chance. That's not true. I mean, joining a lawsuit, right now, your position is your position. No one's position is going to change for the worse. You can't go back, right? I think joining a lawsuit helps improve your chances. And I think especially this year, because this year, as bad as 2020 was and as bad as 2021 was in terms of issuing visas, this year is worse. They're on a pace to do, well, we'll see, but they're on a pace to do less than they did in those 2 years, which was less than 20,000. So, I look at it, people come to me and say, can you help me? And I have to assess whether I can. And my answer was yes. So we've taken on people from 37 countries. I think every Middle Eastern country, we have a client from every Middle Eastern country, and here's the most important point. There's been some movement, obviously, in the Middle East in particular, where they've allowed people to transfer out of Kabul and Baghdad to, whether they're going to Ankara or Abu Dhabi, but they've also now said they're so backlogged they'll never be able to process everyone, and so there's kind of this traffic jam, and I think what we're going to have, and then you also have Cairo, who is not doing anything. I mean, I don't understand. And here's the thing with Cairo. Their historical approval rate is over 90%. So if you get in the door, you're good, right? You're going to get your visa, but they're not letting anyone in the door. So we have a number of clients from Egypt. And so, my job is to give the people who are at home waiting for the KCC or the consulate to to contact them. My job is basically to get their voice heard and to present their claims. And the claims rest on this principle that the agency has an affirmative duty to act on your application in a time-sensitive manner, in a reasonable pace, at a reasonable time. And they're not doing that. And in fact, they've admitted that, because they've said, well, we have to do all family-based cases first. And we're also going to make a decision that we're going to do some non-immigrant visas as well. So that is the state of affairs we're in right now.
اوكي. السيد جيسي بليس بيقول ان الوضع على الارض حاليا 2022 ليست اسعد حظا من 2021 و 2020 2022 2021 and 2020. هو شايف تقصير حاد من الحكومة على كل الأصعدة، خاصة في مجال التيرز والبريورتايزيشن. هو شايف ان معاه 37 country، ناس من 37 دولة، منهم تقريبا كل دول الشرق الأوسط المتضررين موجودين معاه في القضية. وهو ضرب مثال بذلك والتقسيم السفارات بكايرو امباسي، United States Embassy in Cairo. ضرب مثال ان نسبة الموافقة ونسبة الإخفاق فقط 10%، نسبة الموافقة 90%، 90% في القاهرة. ففي القاهرة أنت لو دخلت من الباب فأنت مقبول، فليه ما بتفتحوش الباب؟ في وجهة نظر المحامي جيسي بليس، فهو واضح أنه هو داخل في الصميم. What about in Khartoum last year? Mind you, I know you know that. Let me remind you, in Khartoum last year, out of 365 years, 365 days, which is a physical year, they only interviewed people for 2 days, the 29th and 13th and 30th of September. This year, now after more than 4 months, Khartoum has 0.
Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, well,
what's your opinion about this one? They have brand new. Yes, sir.
No, I mean, you raise it. There's a number of embassies that have done 0. There's Addis down in Ethiopia. There's Khartoum. There's problematic. There's trouble spots for sure, and that's not right, because what you're going to see is it actually distorts the numbers. And if you're in one of those places, you're just screwed. I mean, you can look at it right now in North Africa, right? Morocco is doing kind of pretty well, right? We just had a client of ours.
Yeah.
We just had a client of ours from Algeria get their interview. I don't know if that's due to our lawsuit or not. But I can tell you, though, so like if you're sitting at home, what is litigation? What can litigation do? Well, and I can't take credit for this, but I will. It's just the facts. We filed, and we have clients from Nepal. And Nepal, Kathmandu, had done 0 interviews. And 2 days ago, they sent out 300 interviews for requests for Kathmandu, right, for Nepal. And so was that due to our lawsuit? I don't know, but I would like to think that litigation helps expose kind of the wrongful conduct of not having flexibility to interview people at certain consulates like Khartoum, like Addis. Very few interviews right now in Ghana. There's a number of places that are not doing well, and that's why you'll see numbers like the visa bulletin is going to come out either tomorrow or next week. And what you're going to have is Egypt's, the numbers aren't going to move probably, right? Maybe, I don't know if they'll move or not. But you'll have like Europe go way up, I think, right? You'll have Europe go up. You'll have, maybe Asia go up a little bit. But it distorts the numbers. And so if you're in one of those countries where, you have to look at, we're now 5-6 months into the fiscal year, and you have to make a decision about what you can do. I mean, I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of messages go, should I just contact the KCC? I mean, let me just say, that's not gonna, if that worked, everyone would do it. Everybody is doing it, right? Sending an email to the KCC and getting a boilerplate response is not going to change their conduct, unfortunately.
Yeah. So and this is Casablanca, as we see, they have 101 issued in 4 months, which is still a very weak number. And Algeria is on the top now, is 113, but based on cases, it's only 80 cases they met versus 100, almost 100 in Casablanca. And if we look here, what people needs to know, that Cairo embassy so far had only 10 cases that they
Yeah, no, you know what I'm going to say, that the number to me that's big out there, because if you go back and you scroll up, they only have 58 ready, right? So, I mean, so that's in advance. That means that they're scheduling out for March. That means, so we got to look at, okay, now we're in April, May before they're going to be able to change their conduct. And so if you're sitting at home and you have to be able to project a couple months out, like how many is that number going to significantly change? May and June, it may for our clients, but And that's why they've chosen. So I'm not sitting here trying to say, well, join our lawsuit. I'm just trying to tell you how to interpret these numbers, because that ready number is kind of a preview into the future. And so if you look at Morocco, yeah, they've only done 101, and that doesn't look so great maybe compared to everyone else. But if you look at that number that's ready, that means that they've really stepped up. They're ready for action, right? They're ready to do something more.
And still, it varies. It varies between embassies really bad. So when we see this here, them numbers here, we go down and see numbers like in the 1 digit here and 2 digits, which is a disaster. Cairo, which is supposed to be 6,000 visas who are winners, and they are really a disaster there. So
yeah,
that's really what you telling the people, and I guess you're absolutely
and I think,
right on that.
And let me put my government, because everyone's like, why? Everyone wants to know why. Do they hate Egyptian, or do they hate those assigned? And it's not that. They've made a decision that they're going to do immigrant visas, other immigrant visas, and they're going to make up for, because there's a big backlog. And so, and I can tell you, they do believe, and it's nothing against the Cairo embassy, but there's a big belief out there that the diversity visa program should be given lower priority. This is not something new, but now they're admitting it. Now they're saying, actually, it's in the statute. It's actually by law. We have to treat the diversity visa categories as a lower priority. That's new this year. That's new.
Okay, let me translate what we said. فالسيد جيسي بليس بيقول لحضراتكم بناء على ما شفنا على الشاشة من أرقام، الأرقام وإن كانت في كازابلانكا والجيريا وبعض السفارات عالية، ولكن سفارة زي سفارة القاهرة وهي سفارة كارثة كما وصفها جيسي بليس. السفارة دي بالذات لازم تكون شغالة بها أرقام كبيرة. المحامي جيسي بليس بيقول لحضراتكم ما تخليش الأرقام كمان تخدعك. هل الأرقام اللي احنا بنشوفها دي هل هتستمر في التصاعد بهذه الوتيرة أم ستقف عند وتيرة معينة؟ الأرقام التي نراها في الجزائر والمغرب الآن هي الأرقام التي ستقابل حتى شهر إبريل، ولكن ما سيحدث بعد شهر إبريل نحن غير متأكدين منه. بيقول كمان أنا مش هنا علشان أقول لك خش معايا في القضية، أنا هنا عشان أشرح لحضرتك اللي بيحصل وبقول لك أنا ليه بعمل قضية. Now, can we take some of the questions, please?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so this one is English here. Elias Hadian, our case number is
so let me address that. So I think so one of the things that was my initial mistake was this. We initially put parameters around the lawsuit. We've dropped that. So you could join our lawsuit right now. We're letting a couple people join until Monday. Because we've already filed our complaint and we have a limited time to add new clients. And so your number doesn't preclude you, but, and let me just kind of explain where we're at with this. So I've used this kind of picture before, but if you look, the delay to those with high numbers is actually the greater harm now. Because if we were on a boat, what they've essentially done is each day they wait, they're throwing those high numbers off the boat. They're making you walk a plank, okay? And so you're not going to have an opportunity. So I would actually think that those with high numbers would probably have the best claim they're ever going to have to join now. If you wait to your current, maybe the world goes current like it did last year in June, but you're on a very short timeline. I think actually the harm has been already done for you. And here's another thing, and I've raised this because we have clients already that have quote unquote high numbers. when the KCC and consulates started issuing visas to people who weren't current and were not, they interviewed a number of people who were not current, that harmed you, right? That's one visa that you could have had that they had. And you should, why shouldn't you benefit? Like, why shouldn't a court order the government to make that wrong a right for you? And that's what we're doing for our clients. And so you're not stopped from joining us. I will say, if you're thinking about it, though, we're only letting a limited number of people join us until Monday. Okay.
للسيد الياس هديان. السيد الياس، حضرتك نسيت تقول لنا حضرتك بلد حضرتك ايه؟ يا ريت يعني. AF من افريقيا. انا متصور الياس من المغرب او من الجزائر. حضرتك الاستاذ هديان بيقول انه رقمه 47,000، وبينما السيد جيسي بليس كان حط ارقام معينه سيصل لها 31,000 وهكذا. السيد جيسي بليس قال انه هو رفع تلك القيود لان الارقام بتتغير. هو فتح القيود دي، واي رقم مرتفع او قليل ممكن انه يشترك في القضيه امامكم حتى يوم الاثنين. الخميس النهارده لسه احنا الساعه 3:30 ل5. الخميس، الجمعه، السبت، الاحد، الاثنين، حضراتكم عندكم الرابط بتاع المحامي جيسي بليس هتلاقيه موجود عندنا على التليجرام. هو الرابط الموجود على البانر هنا، وهتلاقيه موجود على التليجرام جروب. اي وقت تقدر تخش التليجرام جروب وتتواصل مع المحامي على طول. المحامي كمان بيقول لحضرتك الضرر على الارقام الكبيره هو اكبر من الضرر على الارقام الصغيره. ازاي؟ حضرتك شفنا هاير كيس نمبرز زي نمره 5 56,000 دخل وقابل واخد تاشيره بتاع ليسوتو. ده اخد تاشيره مش من حقه، بتاعت حد تاني. so harm had happened there already. الضرر موجود والضرر حدث بالفعل. كل دي اشياء حصلت في صف حضرتك. اذا كان حضرتك رقمك 47,000 AF او AS، ممكن تتواصل مع المحامي جيسي بليس عبر الرابط المكتوب ده، وهتلاقي الرابط ده موجود معانا هنا. هننزله لحضرتك وهيخش معانا بعد كده في الجروب على طول. So this one gonna be in Arabic and oh, that's in English. Messages plus any news about the embassy in Baghdad and we should look for alternatives.
Well, you can. Well, you're entitled. Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to transfer right now. They've said that they're going to transfer everyone out of there. You have to make a request to either the consulate. I think you can actually go right to KCC and request. Put Baghdad consulate in your subject line and get it transferred. I think it'll probably go to. Well, I think they're scheduling most people for the Abu Dhabi or Turkey. It's up to you where you can go. Make that known to them.
اوكي. السيد جيسي بليس، كان الاخ هنا بيسال على سفاره بغداد. هل سفاره بغداد هتشتغل ولا هيكون في بديل؟ السيد جيسي بليس بيفكر كريستيان خندي بيقول لحضرتك لازم حالا تطلب التغيير للسفاره تكون تقدر حضرتك تروحها. اذا كانت في انقره او عمان او ما شابه، اي بلد تقدر تروحها. تكتب في السبجكت الكيس نمبر بتاعتك وجنبها كلمه reassignment. This one here is say hi welcome Mr. Joseph Blas, and we need to know what's happening in 2021 in your opinion now. Litigations. Why?
Oh, okay. So for 2021, admittedly, I'm not a lawyer in one of those lawsuits. So I don't want to speak. There's great lawyers working on those cases. I am class counsel in the 2020 case in Gomez, and we're somewhat related. And I can tell you, so let me just give you kind of a broad rundown or a summary of what's going on. So everyone was granted relief if you were a named plaintiff or if you were entitled to one of the visas allocated. I think there's a couple of cases where they've just said issue some visas, but others are just you have to be a named plaintiff. And you should contact Curtis Morrison, who is the attorney in those cases. I think Chuck Cook is the other attorney. But what the government has decided to do is they cannot take the judge's order to reserve visas and have the department issue them after the deadline. Okay, that's not something they're willing to live with, and they've appealed that, and they're actually asking the court to stop, to halt the order to issue those visas until they can go and appeal those cases. And that's where they're at right now. So we're in the process of having to fight over whether the court should stop things now or make the government continue, or actually to start implementing the order and issue visas for 2021.
السيد جيسي بليس بيجاوب الأستاذ نجم صديقنا، نجم ناظر، بيقول لحضرتك هو مش من ضمن محامين قضايا 2021. يمكنك سؤال مستر تشارلز كوك كريس موريسون، ولكن بصفة عامة هو يعرف أن ما يحدث الآن أن بعض تلك القضايا أخذت حكم summary judgment، وبعض القضايا لم تأخذ حكم بعد. كل تلك القضايا مطعون عليها لأن لا تريد أن تتعاون ولا تريد أن تعيش مع فكرة أنهم ممكن يعطوا تأشيرات خارج السنة المالية. قد تذهب الحكومة وذهبت بالفعل للطعون، قد تذهب كمان لأمر stay stop halt كما استخدمها الأستاذ سيد جيسي بليس. ولكن سنرى الأيام القادمة ما سيحدث. In your opinion, can a stay order happen in this case? Yes, no, 10%, 20%?
It's not going to happen before Judge Mehta. He's not going to grant it. I can tell you that. I'd be shocked. I think the Court of Appeals maybe have a better shot, and I actually believe the government will go all the way to the Supreme Court, and there the chances are probably about 50-50 that they would stop the order. And it doesn't mean they stop it because they think the government's going to win. They stop it because they want to take a look at the issue of whether a judge can order the government to issue visas after the deadline.
السيد يقول هناك أمر stay بتطلبه الحكومة، لكنه لا يتصور أن القاضي أميت مهتا سيرضى بأمر stay أو سيعطي للحكومة أمر stay، أمر إيقاف التنفيذ stay. ربما تذهب الحكومة إلى الأبيل، محكمة الأبيل، محكمة تذهب للمحكمة الأكبر السبريم كورت 50-50، النص نعم والنص لا، حتى إذا أوقفت المحكمة العليا أو محكمة الطعون إيقاف التنفيذ فسيكون لإعادة النظر، ليس أكثر من ذلك. حتى كلمة stay مش هتكون معناها نهاية القضية. So let's take another question. On the internet for some reason.
Oh, it's okay.
Do you think about upcoming bulletin?
I mean, I think it's going to come out. I mean, I'm on record as saying that it's the government. Yeah, I see it. Listen, number one, don't take what I say about a visa bulletin. I'm not an expert on that. I can tell you that I think the numbers are going to go up. I think the government wants them to go up so they look like they're doing a lot of work. But what you need to understand is whether the numbers change or not, is not going to make a material difference in your odds, because if you're outside the bulletin or you're inside the bulletin and you're current or you're not current, just because you go current doesn't mean you get an interview. And it doesn't mean that the embassy that you're assigned to or that the KCC is now going to process your case. It really, and last year, keep in mind, this is an important point. This is the most important point. Last year, everybody went current in June, and they only issued 17,000 visas. So it doesn't really matter what the bulletin says for this month.
السيد جيسي بليس بيقول لأنس جواهر، بيقول لحضرتك لا تدع كلمة الفيزا بولتن تشغل بالك والأرقام تشغل بالك، فهو ضرب مثل بذلك ما حدث في العام الماضي. بحلول شهر يونيو كان الكل كورنت، ومع ذلك لم يصدروا أكثر من 17,000 تأشيرة وقيل 15,000 تأشيرة. لا تدع ذلك يشغل بالك حاليا، دع ما يشغل بالك وركز على شؤونك وعلى أمورك وعلى استعدادك للمقابلة وعلى تدعيم موقفك. So he's taken us to another question here talking about the Congress. He's asking Ming وإعادة you think about the BBB, will it happen or not, and Ming Amendment, Grace Ming Amendment, if it's going to happen or not. Is there any hopes for you and them? I mean, one of our friends already talked to one of the senators, almost dead.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see that happen. We're probably too close to when they start campaigning. There's a huge election next November. I think the immigration provisions are the first thing that are going to come out of any type of legislation. They're just they're too contentious, and I also believe that no one is fighting hard enough for the diversity visa program in particular, or the recapture of family-based visas. And to be honest, what state would tell Congress is, hey, we already have way too much work. We're already don't start playing games, we already have, unless you're going to give us billions of dollars, we can't even keep up. It's a sad reality, but it's the truth.
السيد جيسي بليس بيرد على عمر محمد في موضوع الكونغرس. نحن للأسف ليس هناك الدعم الكافي حول موضوع الهجرة العشوائية واللاري فيزا ودايفرسيتي فيزا، كما أحب أنا أن أناديها باسمها الحقيقي، تأشيرة التنوع أو الهجرة العشوائية والمتنوعة. هو شايف أن في الكونغرس الحظوظ تتضاءل كل يوم، خاصة مع اقترابنا من موسم الكامبينينج وموسم الانتخابات للأعضاء. سينخرط كل منهم في موضوعه الخاص وفي برنامجه الانتخابي في دائرته. لذلك هو يرى أن ليس هناك في مجلس الشيوخ ولا البرلمان من يدعم الهجرة العشوائية، وهو أكثر ما سيؤسفه وسيحزنه هو خروج إن حدث خروج موضوع الهجرة العشوائية خارج اهتمام الكونغرس بكل دوائره. So let's this is a question on the core. It says هل يمكن دفع المبلغ على أجزاء وخاصة أن أحوالنا المادية صعبة. A lot of them in my Telegram group. I want to tell you that you're more than welcome to join us in that group. It's all in Arabic, but they still can talk in English, and they will give questions in English. Then you know it's for you. In the Middle East, maybe we said that last time, they're struggling with bad economy and a lot of problems and crises and wars and they're asking, is there any chance that if any, like let's say a certain case email you with what's happening and ask you for some reduction, some reduce or some kind of payment to be done forward or something, is that possible?
I mean, we can't do. I know. So let me just explain a couple things. You'll notice that the name of our law firm is Wasden Banis. It's not Wasden Bless. It's not. And so I don't get to set the fees, to be honest. So I'm not the owners. And but what that should tell you another thing. Whether I charge you zero or whether I charge you more, it doesn't mean more money to my pocket. Like I'm here. I did Gomez pro bono. When I litigate, it's not a dollar sign I see. It's you. And so that's so I want you to understand that. So I can't do that. With some hardships, we have given some hardship fees to individuals and countries. I'm not going to say we haven't. We certainly have. And you can email me or contact me. I can tell you it's not going to be much lower. It's not going to be based on when you come to the United States. Anyone who signs up with us has to pay at the time they sign up, full payment. Now, that means that we can never go back and ask you for more money either. So it's a two-way street.
السيد جيسي بليس بيجاوب عن هذا السؤال وبيقول هو يعمل لحساب المكتب المذكور اسمه على البانر. هحط لك البانر دلوقتي هنا. يعمل لحساب واسدن اند بانس، مش لحساب نفسه. يخشى بس انك تتصور ان انتم بالنسبه له ارقام او فلوس. لما بيترافع في قضيه ما بيشوفش الارقام، ما بيشوفش النقود، هو بيشوف حضرتك ومصلحه حضرتك في when he litigate، لما بيترافع يعني. لكن مش هيقدر يقول ان هو ما عملوش تخفيضات ما بتبقاش كبيره، ولكن حصل تخفيض. فتملي هيبقى عند حضرتك او عند حضراتكم فرصه انكم تطلبوا ذلك. وهنحط في الجروب في التليجرام اللينك. تقدر تكلم جيسي بليس في جروب التليجرام بالانجليزي، وهيبقى موجود معانا في جروب التليجرام. Just to let you know, this is the biggest Telegram group 2022 all over the world on Telegram. Yeah. It's 3,700 people, and only 500 of them are 2021. The rest are 2022.
Well, that's way too many that I would be able to take. Here's what I would tell the audience. I mean this, right? Don't believe what I say. Go talk to someone who signed up with us. We have I think 30 or 40 people. That's almost half our case from either the Middle East or with a connection to the Middle East. Go talk to them and say if they're happy with how I'm treating them and how I'm taking their case. Because we have a private Telegram chat that I'm a part of, and all the clients are. But you should go and say, and if they say, hey, stay away from that guy, I wish I never signed up with that firm, don't. But I think that's what I can best help you with today is don't believe what I say. I hope you do, but you don't have to. Go and double check. Go speak to a number of our clients and say, hey, what's this? Do you like being in that lawsuit? Is that something that's been good for you, or is he treating you appropriately?
السيد جيسي بليس بيقول كمان ليس عليك لزاما أن تصدق كل ما يقوله جيسي بليس، ولكن يمكنك أن تذهب إلى المدعين الذين ترافع عنهم في السابق وفي الوقت الحاضر جيسي بليس. شوف هو بيتعامل معاهم ازاي، شوف نصيحتهم ليك هتبقى ايه اذا كانوا يقولوا لك تعاقد معاه او لا تتعاقد معاه. هو هيبقى سعيد لو انت كنت مبسوط. احنا دعيناه كمان جيسي بليس للتليجرام جروب. هو عنده تليجرام جروب للمدعين بتوعه فقط. اللي هيخش منكم هيكون معاه. جيسي بليس كمان قال ان الميدل ايست نص المدعين عنده من الميدل ايست. I know some couple of Egyptians already that one of your both are your plaintiffs, and I know one Syrian and one from Morocco already.
I know who they are. So
okay.
yeah, and they're good people. And again, I think it makes sense for people because we are, you need to do your homework. You don't know who you're working with, and it's easy for me to get on here and tell you to come, let me represent you. But this is a once in a lifetime shot for you, and I understand that. But you should do your homework. I actually just chatted with you my private kind of legal Telegram channel. That's for anyone to join, but that's the best way for people can find me and get in contact me, or you can let them know. I try to be as responsive as possible.
اوكي. السيد جيسي بليس بيقول هو عارف كمان مين اللي من الشرق الاوسط اصدقاء شخصيين ليا وهم موجودين معاه في القضايا. بيقول لحضراتكم هو يرحب بكم. هو له قناه على التليجرام. احاول اجيب لكم القناه بتاعت التليجرام بتاعت المحامي جيسي بليس. هنحطها على الوول عندنا في التليجرام جروب. تقدروا تخشوا تشوفوا كل السومري، كل التعليقات بتاعت جيسي بليس موجوده في التليجرام شانل بتاعت جيسي بليس موجوده. تقدر تشوف hour by hour what's happening، كل اللي بيحصل ساعة بساعة، دقيقة بدقيقة. جيسي بليس من النوع اللي هو بيتكلم تملي. He talks really good on his on his Telegram channel. I'll put that Jesse Bless, and let me try to copy here. Maybe I don't know how to get. Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh, link delay.
Yeah, I can copy it if there's
yes, please.
Okay,
just copy it and put it here on the comments.
Okay.
Okay, or just put it for me in the private chat like you did.
I'll do that. There's a lot of comments, so I got to scroll up here. I got to find out where I can.
I got it.
Oh, you got it. Okay,
I got it on the private chat.
Good.
ده الجروب بتاع جيسي بليس على التليجرام. تقدروا تاخدوا منه كل جديد موجود مع جيسي بليس.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so someone here is asking Muhammad Mu'min, I guess he's from Sudan. Yes, he is. هل القضية الفردية نتيجة أفضل من القضايا الجماعية؟ Is the individual lawsuits got better chances than the group lawsuits, like many plaintiffs, 20, 200, 300? هل القضية الفردية يقرر الحكومة منح مزايا الهجرة قبل الانخراط في القضية؟ Can this tell us that more in individual lawsuits, the government turn around and say, okay, don't bother me anymore, here's your visa, leave me alone? That's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, I think it ultimately depends on your circumstances. We have had people come out and ask to be represented, like just them. Like, I only want my name, I only want my case, and we can do that. I think there is a little bit of a benefit. Of course, there's a higher fee that comes with that, but it really depends on your own individual circumstances. So if you were AF 1000, right? And I mean, maybe, and you wanted to file an individual lawsuit, you're going to get like their attention. They're going to take you. But again, you have to weigh that against the higher cost that it would be to represent you as an individual. But overall, it may provide a difference for sure. I've seen it happen. I've done it. I know it really is a matter of taste, though, because the individual versus the group is about how much attention that lawyer should give you, or because when you're the individual client in that case, I have to, if I'm the attorney, give you the same attention, and because you're paying me for it. So it's really about, you're paying for my time to give your voice its presence before the court. Individually. And so I think it can benefit people, but I don't want to say that it's a significant, like you go from having an okay shot to a guarantee. There's no guarantee.
السيد جيسي بليس بيقول لمهند رأيك قد يكون صواب وهو يوافقك في ذلك، ولكن لا تنسى أن التجربة أثبتت لنا أن القضية تكلفتها بتعتبر باهظة، وشفنا ناس دفعت 20,000، شفنا ناس دفعت 10,000 15,000. ولكن في بلاد مثل بلاد الشرق الأوسط، ده كلام من عندي كمان، بيضطر المحامين انهم ياخدوا النوعيه دي من القضايا علشان مراعاه لظروف الشرق الاوسط والظروف الاقتصاديه لشعوب الشرق الاوسط بصفه عامه. ولكن اذا احببت ان تكون في قضيه فرديه، اهلا وسهلا بك، تواصل معه عبر البريد الالكتروني وسيكون سعيد بذلك. سيعطيك نفس الاهتمام. أنت ستكون قضية، فإذا كانت كل قضية تأخذ من وقته يوميا ساعة، سيكون لك ساعة بمفردك، نفس الاهتمام، نفس الشغل. He's taken us to another spot here. I hope you don't mind. How about lawsuit Gomez 2020? What's happening? What's the future? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to it with the 2021 case. So I am class counsel in Gomez. We're fighting. The government asked for a timeout. We don't want to process the 9,095 visas that they are supposed to issue before September 30th, 2022. I think they're going to try to fight that issue. They've taken an appeal. They don't believe they can issue visas. They don't believe they can issue 9,095 of them. So we're going to have to fight that issue on appeal. Right now, until they have a stay, they should start to process those visas until they get a stay from a court, whether it's just like 2021. It's not going to be before Judge Mehta. I feel very strong about that. Then they go to the appeal, who knows, and then Supreme Court if they decide to do that.
السيد جيسي بليس بيجاوب عن سؤال عن قضية جوميز، نفس السؤال عن 9,095 تأشيرة، نفس الكلام. ما يحدث الآن أن الحكومة تحاول الطعن على 9,095 تأشيرة، وهو يرى أن القاضي أميت مهتا لن يسمح لهم بذلك، وعليهم الذهاب بأمر إيقاف التنفيذ إذا أرادوا إلى محكمة الطعون. ويظن أيضا أنهم حظوظهم صعبة هناك، فيمكنهم الذهاب إلى المحكمة العليا إن أرادوا، ولكنه يشك في نجاحهم في ذلك. متأخرين في جوليا. somebody question. I made a mistake. This is more of a question to me. Zip code, any effect on my name in the random hall? I think you're talking about entry. يا شاهد، يا حاتم شاهد، انت بتتكلم على التقديم الاساسي ولا 2020 2022؟ Okay, so let's skip this for now. Here he's saying سؤال, which is the same person. Okay, I hate when people repeat and that wastes my time, your time, and their time.
No.
Is there any use messages? What am I coming both and trying to pick English? So please be advised that the case that they all are asking about financial thing here or another year. Is there possibility to take more than? We already answered this question, so let me please answer this. السيد جيسي بليس قال ان هو تقدر 31,000 51,000 61,000 افريقيا، اي رقم في افريقيا اصبح الان مرحب به، ما عندكش مشكله. محمد سسال، عندي سؤال المحامي. السؤال الاول: رأي موضوع الكونغرس ومشروع مينغ وإعادة البناء. Someone is asking about the Congress again. Let's get the latest. Here, he say, hello, Mr. Jazz. So this one's going to be in English. Here, hello, Mr. Jazz. Bless. My case number is 35. I think Visa both of them would catch my number. This will take us to that topic. Do you think Visa will go faster on that? And that will take us to another topic right after this. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I do think I don't know if it's going to be this month. It's going to, but I think they will catch up. I think the government will make the world go current. I know that others disagree with me, but if they made the world current last year, I don't see them changing course. It doesn't mean they're going to issue. My personal opinion is the government believes that if they issue anything above 20,000 visas, no court will tell them that's wrong. So that's where I've said it. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's what the court, I think that's what the government believes. I obviously have a different view, which is why my clients have filed a lawsuit, because I don't think that is sufficient. I think it complies with the law. But I just want everyone to know that. So you could be current today, and you could be sitting here September 25th, and it won't really make that big of a difference.
السيد جيسي بليس بيرد على محمد بالغازي، وبيقول لحضرتك، بيقول لمحمد بالغازي، ومحمد سأله بالانجليزي وطارق رد عليه بالانجليزي، بيقول عليه الموضوع مش الكيورنت. انت ممكن تبقى كيورنت النهارده، لكن هل هتاخد فرصتك؟ هي دي اللي هتكون المحك والمشكله. زي ما قال قبل كده، في ناس قبلت وما كانوا من خارج النشره، وده ما يراه هو غير قانوني. brother back in 10 years ago. Let's take this one too, please. My brother back in 10 years ago, he had B1 visa by violated its issue. Can that be a serious issue to me? I don't think so.
It shouldn't.
لا، مش هيبقى في حاجة في الكلام ده. So that will take us in the few minutes that's left. It's really few. So in them few minutes, I want to remind people اللينك اللي موجود ده هو لينك قضية المحامي جيسي بليس، وموجود في جروب التليجرام. يا ريت حد من الجروب يجيبه لنا وينزله على الشاشة. What about those who paid the we all saw what happened a few days ago when they said that just unbelievable note that they put on their Facebook and everywhere on Twitter, and they said we have the way through scheduling.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm a person that goes word by word by word by word. I go, every single word matters to me. So when they said we have the way through scheduling appointments, that means we scheduled half the appointments that we're going to do this year. That's how I believe it. And that is the English that I was taught in school.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Some
I
of
think
them
that,
see it as it's half year because what they schedule now is up to April, which is half the year. I don't believe this. I believe even law will make us be just very obligated for the words. The words say, I'm halfway through scheduling appointments. Means whatever I send today, ready and in transit and issued and just double it by 2. That's what we're going to see at the end of the year. That's a disaster. So what do you think about all that concept?
Well, I mean, I look at, like, listen, I mean, I'm not going to look at anything on Twitter or what's written and take it as face value. I know that they've submitted declarations in the Gomez case saying that diversity visas have to be a lower priority. The math tells me they'll be lucky to get to 20,000. So I don't know. They're halfway through the year for sure, and they're on pace to do less than 20. They're on pace to do less than 10. They're on less. I mean, so I just look at the hard data because that's what a judge wants to see. The judge doesn't want to see language. It doesn't care. Here's the thing. The judge is not going to want to hear from me. The judge is going to say, show me the numbers. And I'm going to show the numbers. I'm going to say, listen, Congress said they have to do, well, not have to. Congress said they should do 54,850 this year. They're on pace to do 3,000. Is that reasonable or not? And if the judge says, no, it's not reasonable, then our plaintiffs win. That's the way I see it. Okay. Now, I'm not asking for the reason we filed now, and the reason why I'm only allowing people to sign on with us until Monday is because I do not want to be in the business of having to get reservation of visas, because that is what? An appeal. And I have clients from 2020 who are waiting for their visa. So we want a judgment in time so that our clients, get an interview before September, because in the Gomez case, all the people who did get visas, they don't care what's happening in Gomez right now. And our clients we already had some clients actually in our lawsuit who've gotten interviews. God bless them, right? And so once those people get interviews and get their visas, my job is done.
Good. So أخذنا الحوار مع المحامي جيسي بليس في إن إحنا بنقول على ما حدث من الحكومة على تويتر وفيسبوك، وقالت الحكومة إنهم halfway through scheduling appointments، وقالوا بالفعل إحنا خلصنا يعني بالضبط بالنص halfway through، إحنا خلصنا نص الطريق scheduling appointments في تحديد المواعيد. وأنا راجل باخدها حرفيا كلمة كلمة، وده معناه إنه تماما هم أخذوا كل المواعيد، نص المواعيد. معنى كده إن إحنا نشوف رقم 10 ده، رقم 10 ده نضربه في 2، هو ده التأشيرات اللي نشوفها آخر السنة. أو نشوف رقم الحالات ده 5780 نضربه في 2، هو رقم الحالات اللي هتتبحث من KCC. هل هو ده صحيح أم لا؟ المحامي جيسي بليس هنا قال هو لذلك يرفع القضية من الآن مبكرا. ليه مبكرا؟ why now؟ هو بيقول لأنه هو مش عايز يعمل reservation، هو مش جاي علشان يحفظ تأشيرات للسنة اللي جاية. He's not here to make to reserve visa. That's not his aim. That's not his first priority, let's say. ده مش هو اللي هو طلبه، مش ده اللي عايزه. لذلك هو بيبتدي من دلوقتي يحاول يوصل لمواعيد لحضراتكم، وهو تعلل في ذلك بأن المدعين في قضايا 2020 الآن لا يهمهم ما يحدث في جوميز، لأن خلاص هم كلهم موجودين في أمريكا. وده اللي هو بيحاول يعمله مع حضراتكم. I think the 1 hour that I asked you is done.
Yep.
Would you take one more question?
Yeah, I can take. I know that someone just put like the question in like 9 times.
Yeah, but he's saying current. Do you want to answer this?
I'll answer all the questions. Doesn't matter to me.
Because he said just opinion.
Yeah. I mean, of course. So just because it hasn't been processed, that it could be something specific. Maybe you have 7 children. Maybe they have to do a little bit more homework on your case. They don't process them at the same pace. They never have. So because you haven't been processed, it could be something. It could be nothing. Because they're not operating in a line. They're not doing anything in a line. So I understand that there are bigger numbers that got an interview, but they're not, there's something in your file. I don't go and unlock it. Don't go, you could ask, maybe submit an inquiry, but again, I don't know if it's something specific or it's nothing and but they haven't lost it. I want to tell they haven't lost it.
Yeah, please tell them that, because I heard somebody in Arabic told people if you bug them, they will right click and delete. And I said, that's a crime right there. That's a crime right there. Nobody can do that. It's not his own email to do that. And
but I will say this, and this is important because it doesn't matter if you want to work with me or you want to work with someone else, but if you are in a lawsuit, one of the things that absolutely 100% happens is they're going to go through everyone's name and your number, and they're going to contact the State Department to make sure that you actually exist, and they're going to want to see what's going on there, because if they can get rid of you, they will. And like I told you, we've had clients who had relatively low numbers. I think she was AF 18 and got her interview 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks after we filed, because it hasn't even been 2 weeks. It's been 9 days. So she had her.
I heard she's gonna get a good portion back from her money too.
Well, absolutely, we do put a refund in there.
Today, actually, they were saying that to each other in the group. They said those who get their interviews early, they're gonna get a good portion of their money back.
Well, and it speaks to how we do business, because if I do everything, it's about time. It's about how much time I have to spend. And it's not about how much, money is in my pocket. It's really about how much time I have to provide to do my best work, because I will not do anything less than that.
السيد جيسي بليس بيتكلم مع دركات أمين، بيقول له ممكن تكون حالتك فيها 7 أشخاص، مش لازم حالتك تتبحث كلها مع بعضيها، مش كل الحالات بتتبحث مع بعض، لكن خليه يقول لك حاجة مهمة. إذا كنت معاه أو مع محامي تاني، كل اسم مدعي في قضية بيتم بحثه على حدة في الخارجية الأمريكية. بياخدوا كل اسم من أسماء المدعين ويبحثوا حالته ويشوفوا هل هو موجود ولا لأ، حالته سليمة أو لا، وهكذا. So the last question, I promise, this is going to be from a raw model of a damaged person from 2020. Look at him here. So this guy cannot marry. He's in a country that it's really, the older brother got to marry before the younger brother.
Yeah.
And they had to skip him by choice. He chose to be skipped by choice, and he really want to get married. We all know why, because it's human nature. But the problem is he's a raw model of the damage that happened to them in 2020. This is a person who cannot do as a normal human and get married and have his own life, because he's so worried what's going to happen. Are they say that I did business and get this and this and that? So he says, is the government obligated to issue the SAID visa after the appeal was rejected by the judge?
I mean, I think he has to, if you change that was to an if, so the government will be obligated to issue the SAVE visas after if the appeal is rejected by the judge. Right now, they've appealed it. And the other thing is this: if they don't get a stay, they'll have to start issuing the visas. And so right now, they're seeking a timeout, and we don't know. But if it's rejected, they're going to have to comply, and they will. They absolutely 100% will. So don't think they're just not going to do it. They will. They're pursuing an appeal right now.
للسيد مجدي الريفي، أنا طبعا عارف حالتك كويس ووصفت حالتك زي ما أنت شفت للسيد جيسي بليس كأنك أحد الأضرار البالغة التي حدثت لمدعي من المدعين بموضوع الزواج بتاعك وهكذا، ومبروك لأخوك وابن عمك. بيقول لحضرتك في الغالب لن يستطيعوا الوصول إلى شيء، وطالما ما خدوش امر ستي طبعا يا مجدي مش هيوصلوا لشيء. So at the end of this, I want to remind you one thing that happened in Gomez in July when they said, okay, can we stop this and do all the visas in 2023? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now we all know why.
Well,
that was bad faith right there.
Yeah, and well, the judge called him on it. I mean, the Judge Mehta is not he's not a simple-minded individual. He is a very respected judge.
Well, that's a federal judge.
Yeah, I mean, he knows what he's doing. So I think the government's really taking a very big risk, and they don't have really good arguments. So
even Judge Judy says that.
Yeah,
they didn't hire me for my good looks.
Yeah, exactly.
They hired me because I'm smart.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, listen, here, I want to take this last question because everyone always asks me, like, what's your best argument, you know? And I don't want to be fresh or sarcastic, but my best argument is the argument that wins. And so, and I have to be competitive, right? So I have to be the best, make the best argument that puts my clients in the best position to win. Right now, today, I could just use the data and say that, and use Judge Mehta's words, that it doesn't reflect. So the statute that allocates 55,000 visas per year, which is 8 USC 1153C, requires the government to operate on a timeline that is in good faith to the deadline in the 55,000. If you're doing 1,000 visas through 4 months, or maybe 2,000 through 5 months, that's not good faith, and we know that. And so that's my best argument right now today. Now, if I have to go to court in April or June, it may be another one. That'll be my best argument. But that's my best argument today, is that they're not acting in good faith, judging by the time deadline they have and the number of visas they can do. And this is really, when I had an article in Forbes last week, what I really wanted the government to come out is say, we intend to operate in good faith so that we issue all the visas this year, 54,850. If they say that, all the cases go away. We're not going to be able to win. Now, we can hold the case kind of in pause to hold them to account on good faith. But if they came out and said that, we're done.
السيد جيسي بليس بيرد على البدري، واضرب يا بدري اضرب يا بدري زي ما بنقول تملي. بيقول لحضرتك السؤال للإخوة المشاهدين الأول، بيقول ما هي حجتك؟ argument هنا يعني الحجة بتاعتك في القضية الجديدة. بيقول من كلام، سيستخدم كلام القاضي أميت مهتا نفسه اللي قاله السنة الماضية لإظهار حسن النوايا، وما يحدث الآن وما حدث في القضايا السابقة كافي، حيث أن المادة اللي ذكرها بتقول أن على الحكومة إصدار هذا العدد من التأشيرات، أو على الأقل إظهار حسن النوايا، وهذا ما لم يحدث. الطريقة الوحيدة اللي الحكومة تقدر تكسب بيها القضية ضد جيسي بليس إن القضية ان الحكومه تقول لا خلاص احنا هنطلع ال 54,000 تاشيره و800 وكذا. في الوقت ده هو مش هيسلم، وهيقول اوكي ورينا هتعمل الكلام ده ازاي، وهنستناك لحد ما تصدر ال 54,000، وان لم يحدث سنرجع الى المحكمه مره اخرى. يعني الحكومه كل يوم بتحط القيود حول نفسها وبتزداد غطسا وغوصا في المشكلة يوم ورا يوم، حبيبي مجانا يوم، وهكذا. Thank you at the end of this, sir. Thank you very much we appreciate really so much your time and your effort that you're doing for all them. They believe that your case is their case. Your aim is their aim, which are the visas and the interviews. And thank you very much again. Is there any word you want to say at the end of this?
No, I just, listen, I have a very soft spot in my heart for those who have to suffer through the anxiety. It's not even when the program works well, it's a stressful situation because you never know, and you have a number that's randomized to you, and then you have to deal with an embassy. But I will tell you this, the worrying is not going to get you anywhere towards the embassy in your interview. So I just want to make sure that everyone has it's hard, and I don't know how you deal with stress, but try not to worry so much, because it can really affect your family and your loved ones and yourself in your health. Yeah. Stay positive. And this is what I tell my clients. I'll tell you because you're all my clients right now. You have my attention. The best thing you can do, if you're a DV22 winner or a 20 Gomez plaintiff potential, is prepare for your interview like it's tomorrow. Go through the documents you need. Make sure you have them. You can't do your medicals. I understand that, but know where you're going to get them done. Get your documents, get all your certificates, get everything in order, have a little packet, and prepare like your interview's tomorrow, because that actually will help you calm and relax.
Thank you very much. السيد جيسي بليس بينصح حضراتكم، بيقول هو بيفكر في الإرهاق الذهني اللي بيحصل لحضراتكم انزعاجي. بيقول لحضراتكم انك ترهق نفسك وتقلق جدا جدا جدا. هذا ليس طيب لا ليك ولا لحد ولا لأسرتك ولا لعملك. الكلمة المشهورة اللي بيقولها لكل مدعيه تملي. فكر في الهجرة كأنك ستسافر، ستقابل غدا، حضر أوراقك كل حاجة، لكن فكر في دنيتك كأنك مش مسافر. احضر شغلك، اهتم بعملك، اهتم بأسرتك، والدتك، والدك، اخواتك، عائلتك، أبنائك، وهكذا. في النهاية نشكر حضراتكم ونشكر السيد جيسي بليس. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. We'll be in touch. If I'm happy to come
Always.
back. Let me know. Always.
Always.
Yeah, man.
Always. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right. Be good. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. من هنا حضراتكم شفنا السيد جيسي بليس. وفي نهاية الكلام ده أنا عايز أقول لحضراتكم في كم سؤال موجودين أنا أقدر أجاوب عليهم. هم أسئلة باراليجل، مش أسئلة للمحامي. أنا أقدر أجاوب عليهم، ما فيش مشكلة. هجاوب على كل حضراتكم، لكن عايز أقول لحضراتكم لو سمحتوا، وإحنا في الدقيقة 73 بقول لحضراتكم لو حضرتك دخلت القضية دي أنا مش هزيد دولار. لو حضرتك ما دخلتش القضية دي أنا مش هزيد دولار. لو حضرتك دخلت قضية غيرها أنا مش هزيد دولار. لو ما دخلتش قضية غيرها أنا مش هزيد دولار. أنا بعمل اللي بيخلص ضميري من رب العالمين، واستنى أجري من ربي، وهو الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله يأجرني على ذلك. الحمد لله الحمد لله مستور جدا 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 لأبعد الحدود. أنا لا أطمع في إني أكون مليونير، ولو كنت على مش عايز أقول يعني خليها بعيد شوية. نقول لا أطمع إني أكون عندي $1,000,000، وإذا كان عندي $1,000,000 هعمل بيهم إيه؟ أنا أولادي عارفين إن حتى لو عندي $1,000,000 لن يزيدهم شيء ولن يزيدني شيء. أبنائي يعملون، أنا أقدر أخلي أبنائي ما يعملوش، لكن إزاي أخلي راجل ما يعملش؟ طب وبعد كده هيعمل إيه؟ مش منتظر من حد إنه يشترك في قضية أو ما يشتركش في قضية. النهاردة عملنا في التليجرام، عملنا فوت، عملنا بول، عملنا إحصاء صغير. عندنا خبر وحش بس إن ما فيش ولا موعد النهاردة. إحنا أسفين يا صلاح، ما فيش النهاردة مواعيد. لكن عايز اوري لحضراتكم اللي حاصل هنا. يا ريت شوف كده حضرتك معانا نظرة من داخل الجروب. هتشوف ان الناس بتتكلم على البث المباشر. الاول عملنا لهم عايزين البث المباشر يبقى على جزئين، الملخص 15 دقيقة وبعدين الرد على الأسئلة، خلاص دي عرفناها. لكن هم كمان هنا الناس تكلمت عن القضايا. أنا بسألهم بمنتهى الصراحة، هل أنتم شايفين إن إحنا بنجيب لكم المحامين هنا؟ أنتم شايفين الكلام ده إزاي؟ ف71% قالوا ان الكلام ده ضروري كي استطيع التعرف على ما يجري من حولي. في كام في المية؟ كيف ترى الفيديوهات؟ 71%. في 19 قال من باب العلم بالشيء خير من الجهل به، دول 19%. الاثنين دول مع بعض هم 90% من الجروب. واحد في 4% قالوا أتصور أن الغرض هو الضغط علي للانضمام للقضايا. رأيه ويحترم، رأيه ويحترم. 6% قالوا أنهم غير مهتمين. إذن 10% رأيهم أن الكلام ده مش إيجابي بالنسبة لهم أو غير مهتمين. و90% من الأصوات قالت أنه هو ضروري عنده أنه يشوف المحامين ويشوف بيقولوا إيه ويشوف آرائهم في 2020 2021 و2022. أنا لحد هنا خلصت اللي عندي. في كلام مهم جدا 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 كنت عايز أقوله لحضراتكم بخصوص القنصليات، بخصوص السفارات وما يحدث في السفارات. وصلنا لشوية معلومات عايزين نناقشها مع حضراتكم عن كل سفارة على حدة. أنا راجل ما بعرفش، مش ما بعرفش، ما ببقاش مستمتع بإني أدير الحوار مع نفسي وأطلع أسجل زي ما في غيري بيسجل أيا كان، يعني غير كتير بكل لغات العالم بيسجل وخلاص. أنا تملي بحب إن أنا يبقى فيه هات وخد بيني وبين الناس. هناخد سفارة القاهرة، هناخد سفارة الخرطوم، هناخد سفارة الرياض، هناخد سفارة كازابلانكا، هناخد سفارة الجزائر. لما تبقوا موجودين معايا في اللايف إن شاء الله هناخد كل سفارة على حدة وندرس كل سفارة على حدة كانت إيه وبقت إيه ومتوقعين منها إيه. هندرس كل سفارة على حدة في الأيام اللي جاية. هناخد سفارة سفارة في اللايفات اللي جاية يا أحمد يا صلاح. هناخد في اللايفات اللي جاية كل سفارة كانت بتعمل إيه قبل البانديميك، بتعمل إيه في وقت البانديميك، ومتوقعين منها إيه بكرة، علشان ما بصش هلاقي واحد سوداني حبيبي أخويا ومحول سفارة أكرا. يا ابني سفارة أكرا فيها الرفض 60%. ما لاقيش واحد مثلا. انا عايز بس ازف لحضراتكم بشرى، سفارة القاهرة سفارة فيها اقل من 10% رفض طول عمرها. اللي بيخش سفارة القاهرة زي ما قال المحامي من شوية بيبقى داخل كأنه ضامن التأشيرة في ايده. ده بالنسبة للهجرة العشوائية، مش محدش يكلمني في حاجة تانية. حاضر يا شريف، انا كده خلصت اللي عندي، قلت اللي عندي يا زمن، قلت اللي عندي. انا متشكر لحضراتكم جدا 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 جدا. منتظر من حضراتكم الدعم، منتظر من حضراتكم انكم تدعمونا. نزلت على القناة اللي احنا شغالين عليها دي، لازم حضرتك تعمل متابعة. بعد اذنك اعمل متابعة على القناة اللي انت عليها. طبعا احنا تعدينا الساعة على تويتر، معنى كده ان تويتر هيلغي اللايف من عنده، لكن تقدر تشوفنا على تويتر، انستجرام، على تويتر، على يوتيوب، على الصفحة الرسمية، على 8 جروبات الهجرة لأمريكا هنعمل لهم اتحاد لوحديهم. جروبات الهجرة لأمريكا كلها الشخصية بتاعتي. وبتاعه زمايلي واحبابي ايمن جوني وحمدي نجيب والاستاذ محمد السمان، الاستاذ محمد الوكيل، الاستاذه ايمان محمد، الاستاذه داليا بدوي، صديقنا الاستاذ ادوارد منورنا وهينورنا، وهو بس يومين وهيرجع تاني لعقله، مفيش مشكله. ادوارد ده حبيب الكل اصلا. مش عايز انسى حد. قلنا ايمن، قلنا محمد عطيه ربنا يفك سجنه ان شاء الله. محمد عطيه سجين رأي مش اكتر ولا اقل، ولو انه اصلا حتى ما قالش حاجه. والاستاذ ألبرت ويسكر ومحمد السمان، وكده تقريبا قلنا الكل. وحبيبنا طبعا قبل الكل المخرج بتاعنا الاستاذ حسن ابو ادم، سافرنا في بيرو. انا متشكر لحضراتكم جدا جدا جدا. لازم تدعمونا، لازم تشتركوا معانا في القنوات دي. ليه؟ لان احنا نحارب كل حد بيطلع يعمل لايف زي كده وبيجيب محامي كبير. محامي جيسي بليس مليونير، المحامي موريسون مليونير، المحامي تشارلز كوك مليونير، كلهم ارقامهم كبيره جدا. كل ان احنا نجيبهم ساعه مجانا قاعدين معانا، ده مش شيء سهل ابدا ابدا ابدا. واسالوا اي حد في امريكا كده تقدر، في محامي زي محامي ثروته تعدي 65 مليون دولار، تقدر تجيبه يقعد معاك ساعه؟ هيقول لك طبعا كلام فاضي، مش هيحصل. الحمد لله والشكر لله بنجيب لحضراتكم كل الجديد. ويرجع بعد كده حد يقول ده ساهر بياخد عمولة من المحامي. يعني محامي ثروته 65 مليون هيعرض نفسه للعقوبة ويدي ساهر عمولة؟ ازاي؟ هنا في أمريكا ممنوع منعا باتا ان يحصل عمولات بين المحامين واي حد. ده قانون ويحترم هنا غصب عن الكل. يفقد اذا كان في شك بسيط قد كده، المحامي يفقد الرخصه اللي عملته مليونير عشان سواد عيون ساهر. يعني يا ريت الناس تشغل عقلها شويه. بنحارب؟ لا، ما بنحاربش حد، ومش مستعدين نحارب حد، ومش عايزين نحارب حد، ولكن نرى الهجوم من بعض الناس اللي عايز يطلع يعمل لايف. فعلشان يطلع يعمل لايف لازم يشتمنا، لازم يوقفنا شوية. لكن لو وقفنا شوية، مين اللي هيجيب الناس دي؟ مين اللي هيطلع الإجابات اللي انتوا شفتوها دي من محامي زي جيسي بليس؟ جيسي بليس هو محامي قضية جوميز، يعني المحامي الوحيد وأول محامي في التاريخ يحجز 9095 تأشيرة خارج السنة المالية، وأول محامي في التاريخ يفتح السفارات ويطلع منها 7000 تأشيرة. جيسي بليس اللي كان معايا من شوية ده. مين هيقدر يعمل الكلام ده؟ لو عطلوني مش هقدر أساعد. لو سمحتم بس ساعدوني، ما تخلوش يعني الحجارة التي يلقيها بعض السفهاء تصل إلينا. أنا مش عايز حد يعمل تقارير، ولا ما حدش يعمل تقارير، ولا ما عنديش أنا الكلام ده. فقط اشترك معانا بدل الحساب، في حساب واثنين وثلاثة واربعة وعشرة. يقفلوا لنا صفحة نفتح اتنين، يقفلوا لنا حساب نفتح اتنين، يقفلوا لنا قناة نفتح اتنين. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. السلام عليكم. Salut.